I said yesterday, or this morning, that I think Philadelphia is the most entertaining team in the NBA. They're the messier, less refined version of the Warriors. Talented with all sorts of egos and goofiness. I love Philadelphia. Do you?
I'm not. I'm not a big fan. I mean, they are good and they got a lot of good players. But I think the Embiid part of it, as talented as he is, he rubs me the wrong way. And I'm more about Toronto. Kawhi Leonard is the reason why. When I look at this guy, you could argue, Colin, that he's had as good of a postseason as KD.
Yeah.
KD's been unbelievable, but so has Kawhi.
Yeah, Kawhi has been absolutely unbelievable.
And he's that kind of player. That's why I gave Toronto a lot of credit. Remember, they had won 50 or almost 60 games the last couple of years, got swept by LeBron 2 years in a row. But this guy's been there, done that, been an MVP of a finals, won a finals. You add him to the mix. I still think people get caught up in the NBA with being a prisoner of the moment. So whoever wins last night is going to win the series. I'm not buying that. I still have Toronto, still have Kawhi. Game 7, they win it all.
By the way, long term, I told my wife this last night, Embiid's first 2 years at his company, he couldn't work. I think that makes him a liability. People think I'm crazy when I say, I know Embiid's great, but if I had to move one of these guys to get a bunch of pieces, I'd move Embiid.
I think you're right from the standpoint of it's going to be touch and go his entire career. And you've seen guys like that where they're so talented, you say, man, if he could have stayed healthy, that's what you're going to attach to the end of his name.
Back issue, feet issue, and weight issue. That is like the big man bingo. Like that's the kryptonite for bigs. Weight issue, more than they want, feet, back, hips. It never goes away.
And you don't want to wait too late until you can't get rid of them. So you got to take a look. It's hard for a GM.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
But sometimes you got to make those moves a year or two early than a year or two late when you can't make them.
It takes courage. I said when Westbrook won the MVP, now's the time to move him. He's an overvet. Now you can't trade Westbrook. Now like nobody wants Westbrook. Often Belichick's greatest strength is moving off guys at the perfect time. People love Darrelle Revis. He moved off him. Jets overpaid. Speaking of the Patriots, did you see Tom Brady's contract? He's on Jimmy Kimmel last night. Don't you love the fact that he takes pay cuts? Don't you love that about Tom Brady?
This is the most false narrative going in sports. And here it is. Tom Brady's going to brag about everybody. Oh, well, he takes pay cuts to help the organization. Why don't other quarterbacks and teams get that? Because that'll help you out. But then the narrative is always, but Tom Brady doesn't have anybody. So he's taking pay cuts, and we're the players that they're delivering because Tom Brady's helping out. Now come on, Colin.
That has been the funniest thing about them. It's like if your dad said we're saving money and we're not going to go on vacation, but then you had a beater car and you knew your dad had a good job anyway. The knock I've had on New England is, who are they paying?
That's what I'm saying. But Tom Brady gets credit for this like, oh, it allows them to build a team in other ways. And I keep saying, everybody says, Tom Brady, look, his receivers, he doesn't have any receivers. He does more with less. How could you have less if you're taking less money? And Tom Brady's crazy anyway. I would never take less money. You are worth what you should get what you're worth.
Well, even if you were married to a $500 million.
Doesn't matter. You know why? Why are you giving a billionaire or these owners a discount? Why are you helping them? It doesn't make any sense to help them because they run their business. You should get what you're worth to be paid. I just don't understand this. And guys who do this, I frown on that.
By the way, this is what Kobe Bryant said. Kobe's like, I'm not taking a penny less. Is the owner taking a penny less?
No, he's not. And fans, I don't get it either. If Tom Brady takes less, are your tickets at Gillette Stadium less? Is your beer less?
But there is
none of it is less.
You know, it is funny. It's like bosses always want to make you feel like loyalty matters. I had a boss to me one time say, hey, loyalty matters. 2 weeks later, he took a job in Boston.
He walked out on you, right?
Right. Nice guy, by the way. Tom Baker, I love him. Great guy. But he kept selling me on loyalty. An hour later, I'm like, where's Tom? Oh, he's on a bus to Boston.
That's what I'm saying.
So, no, I think you make a good point. Okay, we're talking about conspiracy theories. So Joy tends to be more of a tinfoil hat she'll give them a chance. She doesn't believe in all of them, but Joy is open to interpretation of a conspiracy theory.
I think that there's some things you should question out there.
Okay, I'm Iron Man. I've got a suit on and it's impenetrable.
And you don't believe in any of it?
I don't believe in any of them. I'm told you have a conspiracy theory.
I do. When you left ESPN and came over here to Fox Sports 1, I do remember your hair being, was your hair first purple or whatever, and then you had it dye? And I think the conspiracy was that you thought this was going to help with the ratings once you came over here. So you had to attract younger people.
Do you know what
is that?
Do you know what happened? I can tell you exactly what happened. So I had 6 weeks off, and I moved to the beach in California. And when you move to a beach, you go to the beach every day, right? I don't go to the beach every day now. So for 6 weeks, I went to the beach every day. My hair got all yellow, and the company sent me an email. We're taking pictures in 3 days. And my wife said, you look like Spicoli. You got to get your hair, my wife's like, you got to get all the yellow out of your hair because my hair gets real light. And I went and got a hair dye job. I don't mind my hair being gray.
Right.
And it made it black. And then I tried to wash it out for like 4 days before the picture, and that made it worse. So since it took like a year for that
stuff to get out.
Oh, it took forever.
Yeah, no, you're better off with the gray.
Yeah, I got a bunch of gray. I don't give a rip. I'm
Not
old.
At all. Same with me. Like my hair got a little bit of gray on the top, but I don't do anything to my hair, and I refuse to do anything. But I know that time you were trying to attract somebody younger viewers.
Really appreciate you bringing that up.
Sorry about that.
Okay, let's talk about Ty Lue and the Lakers. Joy's belief is he's the best coach, hire him. My belief has been I get the optics. I'd want to go to Kawhi Leonard, and I'd just ask him, what do you make if we hire? I would want to go. I mean, Paul George chose OKC as a Californian over the Lakers. So I get the optics. Where do you land on Ty Lue?
I think the Lakers have no choice but to hire Ty Lue for a number of reasons. Number one, he's worked well with LeBron. He's won a championship. He's a former Laker. I mean, those are 3 marks right there that all make sense. And the other part is you got 3 years left with LeBron, an aging superstar. You can't bring in some coach who doesn't have a track record. Because if that thing blows up, then you got to hire another coach.
Well, your theory was always if LeBron didn't win a title in year 2 in L.A., it's over.
He's not winning one. So you don't have another year or 2 to play around with getting somebody. And obviously, Monty Williams took the job with the Suns.
You know, I thought there was a huge story with the Lakers about a month ago, and nobody talked about it. That obviously forget the free agents. You could get Anthony Davis if you just gave everybody up. Brandon Ingram has a blood issue, like Chris Bosh. Blood clot. Now, it's not as serious as Bosh, but I talked to an NBA scout, and he said it mostly takes Brandon Ingram off the trading block. No GM's going to want that player. So essentially now, you have Kyle Kuzma as an asset, who's about a 5th best starter on a good team, maybe 4th. And Lonzo Ball with a dad issue and an injury issue. I don't think they can get Anthony Davis.
They cannot get Anthony Davis.
So that's my takeaway. So now that's why the whole optic thing becomes more important to me.
I get it. But I'm saying if you're just looking at it from strictly the best guy available, he fits and checks all the boxes.
I get that.
So I think that you have to take a look at that, and you got to play towards LeBron because he's the one you know you're going to have. If you disillusion him with 3 years left and he's with a coach, he wanted Luke Walton out, right? You get him a coach that he doesn't want to play for. Now is he really playing defense? Now the whole thing becomes where this becomes like a total mess and a waste of 4 years with LeBron. That's why I think they have to play to LeBron because you don't know who else you're going to get, and the odds are you're not getting anybody.
Good seeing you, buddy.
Always.
Rob Parker, Odd Couple, Chris Broussard. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.